Justice P. Sathasivam, Governor of Kerala, Sri Pinarayi Vijayan, Chief Minister of Kerala, my cabinet colleague, Sri Venkaiah Naidu, other distinguished dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, Yende Priyapetta, Sahodari Sahodaran Mare, Kochi Metro Yude, Prouda Gambhir Maya, E Udghatan, Chadangil, Pangche Roon Dil, Kerala, Tilayam Kochi Yelayam, Janangalo Doppam Yan, Santosi Kukayam, Abhimani Kukayam Cheyannu. I'm happy to be part of the inauguration of Kochi Metro. I congratulate the people of Kochi on this proud moment. Friends, Kochi, the Queen of the Arabian Sea, is an important spice trading center. Today, it is known as the commercial capital of Kerala. Kochi ranks first in the total number of international and domestic tourist arrivals in Kerala. Hence, it is a fitting that Kochi should have a metro rail facility. The city's population has been rising steadily and is expected to reach 23 lakhs by 2021. Therefore, a mass rapid transport system is essential to address the increasing pressure on urban infrastructure. This will also contribute to Kochi's economic growth. Kochi Metro Rail Limited is a 50-50 joint venture of Government of India and Government of Kerala. The Union Government has so far released over 2,000 crore rupees for Kochi Metro. The phase being inaugurated today will operate from Alva to Palarivattam. It will cover 13.226 kilometers and 11 stations. This metro project has several significant features. It is the first metro project to be commissioned with a modern signaling system called the communication-based train control signaling system. The coaches reflect the Make in India vision. They have been built by Alstom of France at their factory near Chennai and have an Indian component of around 70%. The Kochi Metro integrates the city's entire public transportation network into a single system. This system will have a common timetable, common ticketing, and centralized command and control. It also focuses on improving last mile connectivity and non-motorized transportation system in the inner city. The Kochi Metro has also pioneered an innovative PPP model for ticketing. Indian banks and financial institutions are being invited through a bid process to invest in an automated fare collection system. The selected bank will co-brand the Kochi Metro, fare card, and app with the bank's name. I'm informed that this Kochi One card is a multi-purpose prepaid contactless RuPay card which can be used to travel into the metro and also like a normal debit card. Kochi will be one of the few cities in the world and the first in India to have a modern open-loop smart card which can be used with other modes of transport like buses, taxis, and autos as well. I'm also informed that the Kochi One mobile app has been developed with a long-term vision. The mobile app has an electronic wallet integrated to it, which to link to the Kochi One card. Initially, it will enable citizens of Kochi to avail of metro services. In future, it will fulfill all their travel-related requirements, regular payment needs, and provide city and tourist information. Thus, it is a good example of an e-governance digital platform. Another noteworthy aspect of this project is that nearly 1,000 women and 23 transgenders are being selected to work in the Kochi Metro Rail system. The project is also an example of environment-friendly development. It plans to meet nearly 25% of the entire energy requirements from renewable sources, particularly solar energy. The long-term plan is to become a zero-carbon emitting urban transit system. Every 6 pillar of the metro system will have a covered vertical garden which will substantially use urban solid waste. It is glad to note that all station as well as the Operation Control Center of Kochi Metro have achieved Platinum rating, which is the highest certification level given by the Indian Green Building Council. Friends, over the last 3 years, my government has placed special focus on overall infrastructure development of the nation. Railways, roads, power have been our priority areas. In Pragati meetings, I have personally reviewed nearly 175 projects worth more than 88 lakh crore rupees. We have resolved bottlenecks and significantly improved the average rate of implementation in these sectors. Now, we are also focusing on next generation infrastructure, which includes logistic, digital, and gas grid. A number of initiatives have been taken by us to enhance public transport, particularly in the cities. Foreign investment has been invited in this sector. 50 cities in India are ready to implement metro rail projects. The economic and social benefits of metro rail systems are well known. We have speeded up policy formulation in this sector. Recently, the government of India has standardized the specification for rolling stock and signaling system of metro rail. This will encourage manufacturers to set up manufacturing facilities in India with a long-term perspective. In line with the Make in India vision, efforts are being made to promote domestic manufacturing of metro rolling stock. Friends, there is need to bring about a paradigm shift in urban planning by adopting a people-centric approach and integrating land use and transport. Towards this end, the Government of India issued a National Transit-Oriented Development Policy in April 2017. This policy seeks to transform cities from being transit dependent to being transit-oriented. It aims to create compact, walkable communities and bring public transport closer to the transit. I compliment the Union Ministry of Urban Development led by Venkaiah Ji for having formulated a value capture finance pollution framework. This provides a mechanism to capture the increased land value. Let me conclude by congratulating the citizens of Kochi, the Kochi Metro Rail Corporation, and the Chief Minister of Kerala for achieving this important milestone. Kochi was selected as a smart city in round 1 of the challenge process in January 2016. I hope it will do even better in the days to come. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very